Okay, so I don't really want to do this, but it's the cat. I feel like I need to. I was just making my lunch and I kept feeling in my spirit that right now, hi Tiger, right now I need to say something about God and where He is taking me in my life right now. Where cat. I've had a very rough couple of years. I have gone from having a job that I completely loved, leaving that job for a job that was supposed to be better. Where I found out I had a huge problem with anxiety. Okay, so this is gonna be an emotional video. So I left that job because I couldn't, I didn't even want to go. I was so afraid to go because micromanagement. Let me just put it that way, micromanagement. I didn't even want to be there. It was supposed to be this amazing thing that for our family, and over time it just wasn't. So I had been praying, and not pleading, but there was a place locally that I always wanted to work. I'd been volunteering there for a while, and I'd always wanted to be on staff there. Ever since I was a kid, I'd walked through there, and the people at the desk, it was like I really just wanted to be one of them. I wanted to work there. So after this failed job, in the middle of my crap, what am I supposed to do now? I don't have another job to go to, blah, blah, blah. I tried to take it in my own hands and go back to another job that I had left. And I was only there for a month, and then realized I know now why I left this job. And then I actually did get hired in to the place I wanted to work at. And I honestly believe that that was God's hand. Part of His plan, telling me that you've worked hard for this. I know you've always wanted to be here. Your heart is here. Here you go. It was a huge blessing, and I was like, oh my gosh, I actually get to do this. And then a few months into it, you have your 90-day review or whatever, and so I had my 90 days review, and they were like, this is where, you're doing really well here, you can work on this, blah, 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 blah. And then it came up to a year, and I thought that I was getting better at the job. And I had another review, and they're like, well, you're not getting better in the areas that you need to be better in. I'm sorry that I'm fidgeting, but I'm autistic, so bear with me. As you can see, one of my first videos on here is my autism story, which leads me to, honestly, as soon as I'm done telling you this, I'll get to part of my why I have my EDS story and my autism story on here. So they gave me another chance at work to improve, and 6 months later, I got called back into the office. Still no improvement, and at this point I had had a couple of diagnoses. I'd been seeing doctors and stuff because there were some things going on with my body and my cognitive function, not being able to think. I didn't know what was going on. a lot of pain, a lot of just weird things going on in my body and my brain, and just being very confused as to why all of this was happening. And at the time, I was only 35 years old, so I was like, what's going on? I found out that I had Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, so that's why my body was starting to fall apart. And then a year after that diagnosis, I found out that I am on the autism spectrum, and that is why I wasn't improving at work, because I'm not going to improve, because that's not how I'm wired. I'm not wired to work in that kind of job. And apparently that's why I had so much anxiety at that other job that was supposed to be amazing, because of having EDS and autism and not knowing that these things were who I am. So I've had a lot of different jobs, and there were little parts of each one I feel that I never really. There have only been 2 jobs ever where I really, really, really fit in and enjoyed myself, but they weren't conducive to having a family and have, stuff like that. So I would put myself in jobs that were supposed to be better for my family, but never worked out for me personally, because I couldn't mentally or physically do what the job entailed. So I told them that I would work until September of that year. So September 2017 is when I retired from working outside of my home, just before my 35th birthday, and I applied for disability. It's very hard sometimes for me to wrap my mind around that. That at 35 years old, some people are just starting their careers at that time. And I'm leaving the workforce at that time. So I'm sorry about all this. It's just, I did not plan to do this. I planned to get on here, and oh my gosh, sorry. Really wanted to talk to you guys about God. But unless I tell you where I'm coming from with this, that's what I'm going to tell you next. I don't think would have the impact that it's supposed to. I don't know what that means right now, but so last year I started doing a word for the year. And last year my word was exercise. Trying to figure out what kind of body movements and stuff I can do, and things like that. What's okay for me, what's too much for me, stuff like that. And I actually had one of my doctors tell me that most of what I'm going through has to do with anxiety, and it's all in my head. Gaslighting. So I no longer go to that doctor. But that gave me the opportunity to test that out. So I tried some exercises, and I would always be super tired, and so my anxiety would shoot up. I would get into depression spirals, and I just wasn't functioning very well because I was trying to take the advice of the doctor. Which, it's supposed to be the opposite way. It's supposed to be, hey, the doctor recommends this, let's do this, and then it'll make things better. Nope. So, through that year of learning what's okay for my body physically, the cat's paws, at the end of last year, I was awarded disability, which it took a long time. It was very, very stressful. I had to go to the hearing level, because Michigan, it doesn't have the second level. You shoot right up to the third level, which makes sense. I mean, they want to weed out people who aren't actually disabled, blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, you filed for this. Really? No, you're not disabled. You're not going to get paid by the state. No, not happening. But someone like me who is having their body fall apart, their mind not working right. Well, not working right. No, I just work differently, and I don't connect in a normal neurotypical work environment, which 99% of work environments are neurotypical. And anyway, so this year, at the beginning of the year, I was, kind of getting ready to think of, what's going to be my word for next year, whatever, and the word follow kept popping up throughout the month of December. The word follow kept popping up, and so I'm still searching. I'm still like, okay, what word do I use? And I still kept hearing the word follow. So I adopted that. This year, my word is follow. And that to me means, I actually have a little poster I made. That to me means following where God takes me this year. 2020, the word is follow. I have my little stick person. I have my little path. This is terrible lighting. And to the cross. So I am following where God takes me this year. I even have little emojis under there. One's happy, one's sad, one's got a flower, one's got a question mark, one's got a sunshine, one's got a, like I was sick. And then this month, I challenged myself to finish this book that my husband brought home from where he works. He has a bunch of different clients, well, a few different clients, because he's a cinematographer, and he does 4 days a week. He has a lot of business from this one company. So the last arrow, saving nothing for the next life. So the mission that I received from God after I this is a messy video. Was that I need to use my new platform, my new life situation, as a mission field. I wasn't quite sure what that meant, so I just kind of went about my daily things, and I'm like, what does that mean? What does that mean? What is my living condition? What is my mission field? Well, being autistic, I prefer not to talk to people person to person. Even doing these videos is a little awkward, but I can look at myself like I'm looking in a mirror practicing instead of looking at the camera like I'm looking at a person. So that's helpful. What was I? I totally just shut down. This happens, by the way. So social media is a great place for me because I can type, I can be involved in groups on like Instagram or on like Facebook groups to help support or encourage each other and stuff like that. So I started writing things down about what I thought that meant. Using my current situation and being on a mission. I think I said that right. So that means what I am now doing, according to what God wants me to do right now, as long as I'm listening to Him correctly, which I'm pretty sure I am, is that, one, I am supposed to shed light on autism and what that means. I am supposed to shed light on chronic illness. I'm supposed to talk about them. I am supposed to just be real with people. That's why my channel, my Facebook page, and apparently now I have a YouTube channel, is called Camella in Real Life. That is what my playlist is, because I am supposed to share real life with people. I am supposed to talk about God and what He is telling me through just day to day, and my faith, sharing my faith journey. And it feels strange for me to think that social media can be a mission platform, especially since there is a stigma around that. It's like, oh, you're on social media, blah, 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 you're on Facebook, you know. People just scroll through it thinking, oh, they posted something dumb again, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you know what? You're opinionated. A lot of people are opinionated. I'm not going there right now. Excuse me. I tell my daughters, opinions are like butt cracks. Everybody has them, and sometimes they stink. But anyway. So, my word for the year is follow. I will be talking about chronic illnesses. I will be talking about what it's like to live with them, different types of chronic illness. I will be talking about different parts of life living with chronic illness. I will be talking about mental illness. I will be talking about autism. I will be sharing with you different Bible studies and just anything I feel like God is putting on my heart to speak to you guys. And this book, The Last Arrow, I'm going to share with you this little piece at the bottom here. I know this is getting lengthy, but the last 2 chapters really hit home. Knowing what you want and being battle ready. Knowing what you want. I've never really known what I wanted. I'm not good at selfish thinking, possibly because of autism. I'm empathetic. I'm humble. I am selfless. I'm always that, and I'm not just saying this to toot my own horn. I've just always been that person to put myself on the back burner and to help other people and just be a yes person. But I'm learning to say no to things, even if it's a good thing. There can be too much of a good thing. But knowing what you want, I wonder how many times God has asked us, what do you want me to do for you? And in false humility, we stammer and say, what do you want to do, Lord, is fine. The psalmist David tells us that we are to delight ourselves in the Lord, and He will give us the desires of our heart. This means we need to know our hearts. We need to know our desires. We must allow these desires to first be informed and then formed by our love and worship of God. So that made me think, and our needs are God's opportunities to reveal His generosity and goodness towards us. So that made me think, what do I want? I want books. Not just any books, though. I've actually, I have Amazon. Who doesn't have Amazon? And I have a list on there. I have been, whenever I think of something that I like or that might make me happy or give me joy, that is part of my psychology homework, is to go on Amazon, type it in, grab one of the listings and put it on the wish list. And be like, and sometimes I'll look at the wish list and be like, I really do like those things. Those make me happy. I enjoy this. So that's helping me learn what I like, and it kind of helps me know who I am, and because that's a big deal too, knowing who you are. But what do I want? I want to write. I want people to read the words that I write. I want my words to make a difference. I want my words to be a vessel for God's truth. So now that I know what I want, now that I know the word that I'm supposed to use for the year, and now that I know my mission, things are coming together so interestingly. And I'm not sure what all of it means, but I'm going to take it day by day. I'm going to take it step by step. And like this video, I'm going to do what I feel led to do. So hi, I'm Cammy, commonly known as Cammy. My name is Camella. It's like Pamela, but with a C. And this channel is going to be about my mission for God to share about real life. Welcome. Bye.